Hi guys, and welcome to Rappler Talk Entertainment. I'm Vernice Tantuco. Today I'm talking to the cast and the director of Birdshot, which is a film that's going to be screened at the Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino this August 16. So we're starting things off with the star, Mary Joy Apostol, and director Mikhail. Hi guys.
Hello.
So before we start, I don't want to spoil anything. I've seen the movie, but I know a lot of people haven't.
Yeah.
Could you tell us what it's about?
Okay, so Birdshot is a mystery thriller film. It's
Yeah.
about this girl who unknowingly shoots and kills the Philippine eagle, a national bird, and it's protected by law. Now, a manhunt operation ensues, and the authorities are after her. She's forced to hide in the forest. But during their investigation, the police find something even more horrific. So there's a deeper layer to the story. There's another conspiracy. So if
Yeah.
you want to know what that is, watch the film.
Yeah, and I think when you first hear about the film, or when you first look at the trailer, you think it's an environmental film because it's about the Philippine eagle. But yun nga, there are so many other elements going on. What inspired this story to begin with?
Um, uh, 3 years ago,
Yeah.
I was making my first feature film, and then I saw this news article about a farmer who shoots, kills, cooks, and eats a Philippine eagle.
Yeah.
He was jailed for it, but he claimed that he was unaware it was a crime. He didn't know it was illegal. And for me, as a storyteller, I was fascinated by that whole situation where it's morally ambiguous, where people have to do things in order to survive the food chain of society. And it's a tragic event for both the conservationists and for these uneducated communities in the wilderness. And that's what inspired me to craft the whole story of Birdshot.
Enjoy. This is your first film.
Yes po.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did how did you end up casting Joy?
First of all, we wanted a new face for the film. We wanted a muse, someone, a discovery, someone natural.
Yeah.
So we did auditions, and we had like 100 applicants. We shortlisted to around 10, but Mary Joy was the perfect choice because she had that balance of innocence, grace, and at the same time she has that ferocity within her, and she looks good with a gun. And she had great chemistry with the dog, the canine companion.
Oh, I love the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but I was just so distracted by the image of the dog in my mind. So, what was the experience like?
Siyempre po nung una, medyo kinakabahan po ako. Kasi nung nalaman ko po yung about sa Birdshot, and nalaman ko po yung ibang cast, nandun po yung pressure kasi siyempre si Sir John.
Yes.
Sobrang kinabahan po ako. Pero nung ginagawa po namin yung film, sobrang nag-enjoy din po ako kasi sobrang ang gaan pong katrabaho ni Direk. Talagang hindi po siya yung masalita. Pero once na sinabi po niya yung gusto niya, yun na yun. So medyo nadalian po ako na siya po yung director ko.
So, nag-audition ka para sa role.
Yes po.
Ano yung pinagawa sa'yo?
Nasa movie din po yun eh.
Yung opening
Yung
scene.
opening scene po.
Yung kinakausap ka ni
Opo,
Aquino.
yun po yung audition.
And meron
Nandun-
siyang rifle, even for the auditions, di ba?
Have you, out of curiosity, have you held a gun before?
No.
No, first time.
Nag-workshop din po ako.
Oh, to shoot? To a workshop for acting?
Acting po din kung paano po humawak ng gun.
Oh.
And kahit yung dog, di ba?
Oh,
Nag-bonding kayo.
Workshop po with the dog before taping days po.
Did you also have to find a specific dog?
Yeah,
for-
parang, we may animal auditions. We went through different dogs, and si
Yeah.
Argo, the name of the dog who plays Bala, which is a very important character in the film. Isa siya sa pinaka-well-trained animals na nakawork na. Sobrang easy. In fact, yung mga scenes na nandun yung dog, usually magre-retake kami not because of the dog missing the mark. Ibang factors, focus or other actors in the scene. Pero the dog was perfect. Lagi niyang nagagawa yung kailangan namin for the scene.
So the movie has been screened pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Of course, you went
Almost
to
a
Japan.
year,
Yeah,
yeah.
you went to Tokyo, and you won an award at the Tokyo Film Festival, actually. And then you've been to Sweden, South Korea, everywhere. But this is your first local run.
Yes.
And you screened at Cinemalaya for the first time.
Yeah, that was
here in the
our
Philippines.
Philippine premiere.
Yeah.
So it really feels like going full circle for me because that's where I started. My first film was from Cinemalaya.
Did you feel like the reaction was different when you screened it here in the Philippines compared to abroad?
Of course, I'm sure Joy remembers because she was there for our world
Oo.
premiere in
Yes.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
And iba yung reaction ng foreign audience. They're very serious, they're very analytical, they're all quiet, the whole time. But when we screened in Cinemalaya, iba yung emotions. Everyone reacted, they chuckled kung may konting humor, they gasped pag may suspense, they screamed, they cried. So mas festive yung feeling sa Cinemalaya. Iba talaga reaction ng Filipino audience.
How are you feeling about now that everyone's going to see it because it's going to have a longer run here in the Philippines? How are you feeling about that?
Well, I know that the mystery thriller genre, it's not the most popular genre, but I hope that people support it because if films like this, make money, the companies that take risks to invest in these kinds of films, they'll be encouraged to make more. Para rin sa diversity ng Philippine cinema, I hope they support a genre like this, and I hope they watch Birdshot, they give it a chance because it's something different. I guarantee people it's something they've never seen, especially from a local
For
film.
sure. Yeah. And even because because I saw the film around 2 days ago, and you were talking about it afterwards, and it was so interesting how you built your set. Actually, when I say built, it was more like you planted your cornfield.
Yeah.
In that place. Can you tell us about finding that spot in Isabela?
Yeah, we were very precise with every detail in Birdshot.
Yeah.
We wanted to make a well-crafted film that could compete with international standards. So we had to do everything from scratch. Even with the location scouting, we had to talk to the Department of Agriculture, had a very specific look in mind, and they helped us find the exact spot, which is up north in Isabela. So we had to travel all the way there. Everyone was there. Like there was 100 people just for the Isabela leg. And we found the perfect, almost magical location for us where there's a huge space for cornfields. It gives the film a very Western look. We had the Sierra Madre mountain range in the background, and then the sunset was just right behind it.
Yeah.
So it was just perfect. It was, scenic and cinematic.
And you were saying as well, you had initially thought that when you were filming, the corn was going to be 5 feet in height. Is that
Yeah,
right?
we were
Yeah.
aiming for that. It was part of the story and the storyboard. We wanted the cornfields as tall as Joy.
Yeah.
Because we had, we had to choreograph the whole climactic sequence without spoiling anything. There's like a big confrontation sequence, but the way we crafted it is much different than the one that you saw in the film. When we got there, we were expecting 5 feet tall cornfields. They ended up like 7, 8 feet. So we had to restructure everything. We had to think on our feet and adjust our storyboard. And I think it turned out well for the film. Yeah. It now has a different look, the ending. And I think it works better that way. So I hope if you want to know what that is, I hope you see the film.
Yeah. You were also, we were talking about how you casted Joy here. Your other stars in the film are, John Arcilla, Aquino.
Yeah.
Did you have them in mind also when you were writing this?
All of them are first choice. I wanted actors, veteran actors who I wanted to surround Joy with a lot of, these industry professionals who could, in a way, support her as well.
Yeah.
And Birdshot is a very dynamic film. We have a lot of shots per sequence. The way we filmed this whole movie, it's, there's that foreign quality to it. So I wanted actors who are used to that. So John Arcilla was in Metro Manila. Arnold Reyes was in Graceland. These are foreign co-productions. And they're used to, doing multiple angles, multiple takes, repeating the same action. They have the patience for that, and I know that would work well with my shooting style. And I think that was a good choice because they really were able to portray the roles perfectly, and they're very complex, morally complex roles.
Joy, did they give you any advice? when it came to acting?
Syempre po, before po kasi mag-audition ako, medyo may conflict po kasi nun eh. Di ba, direct? Kasi po, they're looking for a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
But that time po, 17 po ako.
Yeah.
So, nung nag-audition po ako, sabi nila, mas umaangat yung pagka-maturity. So, nagka-problem po dun. And then akala ko po hindi ko po ako makukuha kasi nga po, nung first audition ko palang sinabi nila na mas lumalabas yung 17-year-old mo, maturity ang kailangan namin 14. So, nung nakuha po ako, tinuruan po nila ako. Sinabi po nila sa akin kung ano po yung kailangan nilang role. Yung 14, kailangan nga po medyo 14. So, ang advice po nila sa akin, wag po ako manood ng wag masyadong manood ng mga medyo, puro indie film yung panoodin ko para mas fresh yung pagka-indie po, ganun.
And kahit yung look niya, we changed her hair.
Yeah.
Iba yung cut niya, may bangs siya doon, so she looks younger. And yun nga, we were telling her, sana mas subdued yung acting, mas, introverted yung character. So, binigyan namin siyang films to research. And nakuha niya naman, na-pull off niya perfectly. In fact, yun yung pinaka-consistent na comment sa mga international reviews namin, yung performance niya. And it's a debut performance, first feature film.
Thank you po.
What movies did you ask her to watch?
Yun, yung mga pegs namin, yung Memories of Murder, Babel, ano pa yung iba na sinabi?
Yung sinabi niyo po kanina, yung sa bata, kay Hailey yan.
True Grit?
Oo, yun.
True Grit, pinakita namin. Mga western yan.
Okay. So, you guys are screening at the PPP on August 16.
Yes.
Of course, it's just the PPP is a film festival, and there's like 11 other films in this film fest. Are you looking forward to seeing any of the others?
Actually, some of them have already had their local premiere, so
Yeah.
I've seen most of them. But I think I haven't, of course, I haven't seen the ones that are about to make their world premiere, so I'll see those. But the rest I've seen, the ones that were shown in previous festivals, because I'm a film fan. I watch a lot of films. I attend every festival.
Yeah. And Joy?
Yes po, looking forward po. Kasi naniniwala po ako na dun sa 12 film po na yun. Talagang magaganda po yung 12 film na yun. And talagang sana nga po mapanood po lahat yan ng mga Filipino. Para ma-realize po nila na meron pong mga film na kagaya like Birdshot na dapat yun po yung sinusuportahan, hindi lang yung ibang films.
Yeah. Well, we're about to watch the trailer now, and we're gonna invite John Arcilla and Aquino to sit here and to talk to us. But before that, I was wondering, Mikhail, do you feel any pressure to? I know this is your second film, and your first with
Cinemalaya recorder.
Yeah. Do you feel any pressure now to top this film?
I'm actually shooting my third film this month, August, for Q Cinema October. And yes, there's pressure because I'm working with smaller budget, but I was 2-3 years younger when I made Birdshot, so I have more experience now, and I've learned from certain mistakes. And I think, there's pressure, but I try to focus on the material, on what I'm trying to say in my next film. So I'll keep on making films, and I try not to think about them.
Okay. All right. We're gonna watch the trailer now. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wait lang.
Hinga ng malalim. Sabayan mo yung paghinga ng inaasinta mo. Isa ang huling hinga mo bago mo pisilin ang gatilyo. At ang huling hinga niya bago siya mamatay. Sige, gawin mo na. Maya, gawin mo na.
Bago kayong kaso, may nawawalang Philippine Eagle sa sanktuaryo.
Bali may nawawalang haribon. Tapos kailangan nating mahanap.
Alam mo bang ginawa mo? Alam mo ba ang sitwasyon natin ngayon?
Anong plano mo, Diego? Nasaan yung baril?
Nasaan yung babae?
Alam namin nasa iyo ang baril. Pinapatago mo sa anak mo.
Maya, pag may nagtanong, huwag ka magsasabi tungkol sa ginawa mo.
Tinuruan mo na ako, di ba? Marunong na ako, kaya kaya ko na to.
Saan yung Haribon?
Ang lahat ng ito, mas malaki bagay sa'yo. Paano kung meron kang malaman na hindi mo kailangan malaman? At pag nalaman mo, ang gagawin mo? At the same time.
Vernice with the V.
Vernice.
Yes. Hi guys, that was the trailer for Birdshot, and now we are here with actors Aquino and John Arcilla. We're going to be talking to them a little about that movie that they starred in. So hi guys, welcome.
Hello. Hi, Bernice.
What was we just spoke to Mikhail, the director. What was it like working with him, first of all?
Whoa.
Yeah, he was saying he was really strict with everything.
Well, he's very OC, okay? He's very OC, which is a good thing because at least he has his vision very, very clear. He storyboarded everything to immaculately. He took all the possible angles you can take.
Yeah.
And the end result, well, you can see what happens. It was a very polished, very well shot, very well told story, flawless. Technically, very technically superior. Yeah, it helps that he wrote it.
Yes, at the same time, yeah.
Storyboarded it and executed everything. Yeah.
He's actually looking at me right now. I can't say anything. Well, you know what? I'm not so critical about my directors. I just usually follow what they want me to do on, and I follow whatever is on the script. And I just think that he is one of the most talented youngest director that we have. And when I have that in mind, I just trust the chemistry, and it just follows whatever will happen for a day, one thing at a time. And if ever I want to do something that I think is not in the script, I tell him, and he's very open to anything actually, but sometimes he's very sure of what he wants.
Yeah.
So he'll tell me, "Oh no, John, we have to put this because I think in this particular time we have to put some urgency, and then I have to process it because I think, but I'm not, but I'm like that to all of my directors, because I always believe that." Doing productions for TV, films, and theater is a collaborative process. So, and it's just very open to anything. And if after the discussion I realized that yes, it is, he has a point. So let's do it. I'll put some of my share, and I get some of his, and. I process it and I create the scene.
Were there any scenes that made it to the final cut that were scenes that you had actually suggested to direct?
Well, I had not quite a suggestion, but there was that scene where Domingo, you guys pick up Diego.
Yes, yes.
Okay, we meet on the road. I'm on a bicycle, and they're in the car, and they're coming to arrest me. I'm actually going to them, so it was like, it rained. Okay, so it wasn't in the script that the road was going to be wet with puddles and everything, and they're supposed to come and get me. And so Mick was like, cool, are you willing to get wet?
In what sense?
And I kind of knew
I like your
already.
impression
Okay. I mean, you know, very, very kind. He's asking me, and then I said, boy, this is going to make a splash, no pun intended. And so what happened was that scene where they pushed me down and I face plant into the puddle.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the script, but we had to make do with what was around there, and just wait for everything to dry up would be crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that even elevated, I think, that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was this torture scene that I was actually hitting him. And accidentally...
was that real? Was that
no,
actual?
accidentally, he fell on the ground. And I think he chose that particular shot because it's so real.
Yeah.
It's
I was handcuffed like this, and the chair, you know, was very precarious.
Yes.
And wasn't your fault. It was Arnold. We'll bag on Arnold because he isn't here, okay? And so he was really getting into it. He'd make vuelo, you know, he'd hold.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to break character, but I want to tell him, don't push.
Yeah.
But boom, it went, and bang. That's why that sound of that cry was very
It's
real.
for real.
Yeah.
Sakit no?
So what was it that attracted you to this movie in the first place? Because you guys are both veteran actors, and Mikhail is, he's very young and up and coming. So what was it about? Maybe was it the story? Was it the director that made you trust him?
You know, and there's this politics and filmmaking. I don't know. No, I worked with his father when we were younger.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing him since he's a kid. And he has this passion in doing films. And then he said one time when we were in Japan, and he said, I thought he was 11 then, but he said he's already 16. And he said,
Sabi mo kanina 9.
If I decided to make a film, I want you to be part of it. Of course, sure.
Oh, wow.
So when he offered me this script, I remembered that particular time. So I said yes. And then when I saw the script, I realized that he actually wrote it at the same time. It was very powerful, aside from the thing that he is not just the son of my friend. He has his own style. He has his own vision as a director. And am I pulling your leg now? No. This is one of really the youngest talented directors that we have now.
I didn't know Raymond. I knew Raymond's kuya, the eldest of the clan, was my batchmate. So, you know, his nephew is making a movie, and when a director calls you and says, "Uy, I have a project, and you know, I want you to play this." Director na nagsasabi sa iyo na sino ba naman para tumanggi.
Yeah, well, I think I saw this kind of appeal that the film will cater to the millennials and to the young executives and to adult at the same time. It has this kind of appeal that will make it well, marketable at the same time. Plus, I trust his vision. I trust his talent. I mean, it's very unfair if I'm going to tell you that it's because he's the son of Raymond, but he grew up watching his father doing things.
Yeah, Birdshot. For me, Birdshot is a thinking movie. Okay, it's a mystery thriller. So you follow the line of dialogue. You follow everything. For me, and it's so easy for me to suspend my disbelief with this movie. But it makes you think, you follow everything. But what you don't know is that it's stealing your heart.
Yeah, slowly.
Slowly.
And surely.
Yeah, when you're into the movie already, that's it. You're gone. And it's like, holy.
I remember there's this comment from an audience, and she said, I'm wondering why it's so scary and actually nothing is happening.
Yeah. No, there was a specific reason I was afraid. afraid. But if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway,
And you know,
yeah,
it's a director's job.
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the different elements, you know, there's some
And of course, actors too.
mystery.
That's
Yeah, you were
all the
scary. I
actors.
was really I was afraid of you, man. Ang dami mong damo sa akin.
So on Tuesday, you were saying, because I was there at the when they screened the movie on Tuesday, you were saying you're really into method acting. I was wondering how else did you guys prepare for these roles?
So, ako Methodist.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah, well, you jungle and you choose whatever it will work in the particular genre, because every other film has its own how do you call it, characteristic. So in this particular film, I saw to it that I will make this supposedly villain character to be like I want the audience to see the human side of this man.
I was about to say
Yes,
he's not exactly
yes,
a
he's
villain.
not.
Yeah.
He needs to live too. I mean, he's inside
Yeah.
the system and he can't do anything about it. And he's very practical to say that, come on, if you cannot beat them, join them, or else you won't eat. You won't have food on your table. That's how simple it is for him. And that's what's going on.
I based Diego on personal experience. I grew up in a small barrio in Tinang, Tarlac. It was a sugarcane farm. My dad had a landlord. All right. So here I am. I used to be the son of the caretaker.
Yeah.
Now I am the caretaker. I inherited my father's position. Instead of sugarcane, it's now corn. It's almost the same stalks and everything.
Yeah.
So it was easy to go back into that little boy grown up already having that perception. And so from there, it's the rural life, the slow pace, the very single-minded thinking, the us against them mentality, the being isolationist, you know, protect your own, don't trust strangers, take care of your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the method right there.
You played the father of Mary Joy's character. How was it working with her?
Easy. We did a short film already before, actually directed by the producer, Pam Reyes. Easy transition. I mean, they auditioned many other young ladies, and Mary Joy was one among them. When it got to her, I don't know whether it was, you can't help it. We worked together. The chemistry was easy. Although, in this story, unlike the first we were very, close. You know, I was a more caring, loving father. Here, I'm supposed to be more detached because I want her to be strong. So, at first she was kind of like set off because why is the relationship different now? I said, but that's the character, that's the relationship. You want to make it work.
Very effective.
She picks up fast.
And that acting is actually a film acting that you want an actress to do in your film. I mean, subdued, but the emotion is there. She doesn't need to do big emotions, but you can feel her. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, also, big call out and props to our homeboy Bombi Plata. He was he helped a lot too. He was the acting coach also. So Bombi, good job on Majoy's, because it does take a while to develop your character and to get into it, especially if you're new, and but God's, especially the difficult scenes where it required not only emotions, but physicality.
Yeah.
And you know, you put all of those things together for a first time. That's a big challenge, and oh my God, she pulled it off.
Yeah, I remember I told her that it's okay to have some showbiz idols, but you have to be your own. You have to be your own self.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to find a niche that is only yours. And well, I think it also helped somehow because sometimes actors, new actors, have the tendency to copy their how do you call it, mainstream counterparts. It's like sometimes there are actors that they can't really distinguish the two yet. Parang, because there's this sometimes kind of mainstream acting that sometimes you try to milk the audience for some like killing moments, something like that, or you have to look very like ape, something like that.
Right,
So may mga ganun,
right.
but
It's just like pegs, you know. We
Yes,
all have
yes,
like
yes,
pegs
yes.
in our heads, and that's a difficult part when you talk about authenticity.
Yes, that's
not
true.
not to give in to these
Yes,
pegs. You know,
yes,
just
yes.
be yourself or your concept of
Yeah.
that character, that authentic character.
And try to
She was
thread
very
that
good.
in whatever particular project that you have.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be always like that.
And she was very good. She's a completely different person
Yeah.
in the film.
Mhm.
When I saw it, it's she's there somewhere, but it's funny because I'm sorry, just sharing because when she was speaking on Tuesday, I could tell that she was nervous when she was talking to everyone at the premiere, and yeah, it was so innocent, right? So wala lang, it's just that's it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share. So yeah, the film screened all over the world, and now it's gonna have its first theatrical run here in the Philippines.
Alice Well.
Yeah.
Are you guys nervous at all, or for how the Filipino audience is going to react?
I'm cocky.
You think they're gonna love it?
I'm cocky. The Filipino is intelligent. Okay,
Yes, yes.
the Filipino is intelligent. Nobody has just gotten around to make a movie that does not insult their intelligence so much.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, they will get this. They will like
Yeah.
this.
I'm ready for anything. I mean, sometimes even good movies. I mean, even mainstream movies had their lows. You know, so I'm ready for anything. But one thing I know, the movie is such a wonderful piece of film.
Yeah.
So I think if you won't be able to watch it, it's your loss.
True.
I mean, because it was actually being appreciated in different parts of the world,
Yeah.
and then, parang it's your responsibility as a Filipino to see why, to discover why it was being appreciated in other parts of the
Yeah.
world.
So Birdshot is going to be shown at the Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino on August 16. Are you guys looking forward to watching any of the other movies in that festival? There's like 11 others.
Do we have time?
Yeah.
If I have time, why?
Yes.
Yeah, why not? Yes, yes.
Which ones are you looking at? Or which ones are you most interested in watching?
Tell you frankly, it's going to be difficult. I have relatives in Tarlac, I have relatives in Bohol and Cebu, and they want me there for the screenings. So I'll be flying to Bohol, flying to Cebu.
I think the 100 poems of Ay Sandaan
Sandaan
Tula,
Tula.
I think it is interesting. And Awol, I think lahat naman ng entry, I think are actually worth watching. Yung nga lang yung
Is Oro going to be there?
Yeah.
Oro?
Oh, no, Oro was part
Finish
of
na.
the, kailangan lang ng time. Kasi I usually have my taping daily or every other day. So.
Okay. Well, we're heading into one last question. As when you guys saw the film, as viewers, what was your favorite part?
Consciously as an actor, I don't usually do that. As much as possible, I want to look at the whole film as one obra.
Yeah.
No favorite part. The whole
Okay.
movie is my favorite.
Okay.
For me, it was your scene in the bus.
He was sitting in the bus.
Yeah, the two of them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
You know, because you're not in the scene, and I don't know the
Ah,
lines,
yes,
the script,
yes,
so
yes.
it's not my scene. So, in that particular scene, I'm an audience
Ah, yes.
through and through,
Yes.
and so I'm watching this. It's like, holy cow! You know, the snippets that you never see when you're filming because it's somebody else's
Yeah.
else's work,
Yeah.
and I was just
Oh.
so effortlessly real.
Ah, really? Yeah.
Di ba?
Yes,
Saan ka mag-uumpisa? Pag
Oh, yeah.
it's like, dang,
Yeah,
this guy's nailed it.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching Rappler Talk Entertainment. Please watch Birdshot on
Yes.
August 16
Yes, please.
and watch all the other movies in the Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino. They're all really great. Thank you guys.